All right, everyone. Let's do a sound and visual check. Let's make sure everything's looking okay. Looks good, feels good. I'm looking too handsome. That's a good thing, right? Let me get a few things set up here. Running just a few minutes behind. I have felt horribly. Stomach. I didn't sleep well last night. Been having a lot of stomach pains. That's why you guys missed me during fast markets today. Just not feeling well from traveling. Like I said, I flew back last night, rushed, got on to slow markets with Coach Jay, and stomach, headache, all the, the works. And so I didn't sleep well. I messaged. I was like, hey guys, I just not feeling well. And yeah, hopefully everything went well this morning during fast markets. And yeah, here we are tonight. I'm starting to feel a little bit better. I had some chamomile tea this afternoon. Tried to go to the gym. It was a little bit of a light, and maybe it's I've lost too much weight too fast. That could be it. That could be it. I've lost 8 pounds in 4 weeks, which is, it's healthy, but changing stuff has been part of it. Avoid melatonin. I've stopped taking melatonin. I've stopped drinking energy drinks for the most part. I did have a little bit this morning, but yeah. Markets get heavy when Dakota's sick. Let's see what we could do. Let's see about tonight. Here's one thing I'm watching, everybody. Let's look at this. And before we get started, as always, everybody, in the YouTube chat, there's our Top Step risk disclosure. This is for education, right? This is for educational purposes only. It's not a signals class. Look at that order. There's a big order on the books. 200 contracts at 279. I think that was up a little bit higher. So I don't know, chat. You were watching this market. I was looking. I would have loved to had it taken a short up here. But how is your trading? My trading's been not the best. I took a $3,000 loss. So I'm down $3,000. But this week is young. It's only Wednesday night. Wednesday's price action. You need a back massage for one of those lovely ladies on your... I don't know. No comments on that one. I've been doing... Now, here's something, okay, everybody. I don't mind kind of spilling the beans on this, kind of giving some chisme on a little bit of my personal life when it comes to spending money. I don't buy fancy cars. I don't buy anything really fancy, but I have been going to get a massage almost daily, almost every other day, which is $60 for a 1 hour massage. Not too bad. It's actually really relatively cheap here. I bought in bulk, so I got a discount. And so I go to the massage before I go boxing. That's what I spend my money on. It's my body and my health. My body and my health. That's what I prefer to spend my money on, and then, look good, feel good type thing. Treat yourself. You're just doing that between every poker tournament. Bunch of freaks here. Chat's always freaks. It's late at night for some, and a bunch of guys. That's the demographic, right? Is guys. Yeah, $60 is a great deal. No happy ending. No. Nope. Yeah, after the massage, it's just straight to the boxing gym. You guys are a bunch of perverts. I don't know why I even brought that up. Well, let's get to these markets, shall we? Keep an eye on this contract. Let's look and see if were there any big contracts got filled. Let's change the topic. Oh wow, you see this, Coach J, Hoop, everybody? 400 contracts sitting at 299. 279 contracts sitting at, or 200 contracts sitting at 279. Yeah, I walked right into that. And I'm looking through here. It looks like there was another 200 filled at 285. I wouldn't be opposed for a short, everybody. Yeah, I brought it up. That was a nice short up here. We went up. We rejected 300. You could see here during the New York session. Why am I always looking at things to the bearish side? We came down, rejected this. We are up. We are down 0.3 tonight. Maybe, I don't know. We do have Trump speaking tonight, right? You're new here. Heard a couple times about DBA. What is DBA? Well, we have DBA concepts, which I joke about because it's funny. Everyone likes to repackage and sell stuff and name it something. So I call DBA concepts, which is basically technical analysis. It's just a joke, right? It's fun. But DBA, it's my initials. My first name's Dakota. My middle initial is a B, and my last name ends with an A or starts with an A. So DBA, it's a joke, right? Doing business as my initials, DBA. That's what I've been known as since I was little. Would you short this with the Trump talking? No, I'm not. I don't think I'm going to get into a trade until after. When's he scheduled to speak? Let's look. Trump interview on Fox News coming in at 1900, my time zone. So it's coming in 15 minutes. We're going to watch how this market reacts. I don't think I want to be in a trade before that. DBA, deliberate bar assessment, Delta Bravo Alpha. Funny thing is, I actually have an LLC that is now dissolved, but it was DBA trading. Thanks for doing slow markets. Of course, like I said, I'm feeling a little bit better. I'm good for this. We'll see. We want to see how these markets react. We could do some Q&A. I've been thinking to have like a master's class. I don't know what to do to really go over a master's class. What's your thoughts on that, about some technical analysis, some DBA concepts? Don't buy apples. Not unless you just let it go out inactive. I want to see if these contracts are getting filled. Does anybody know? Have you been watching these big orders? It looks like there was 300 get filled at 275, but I don't know if it's. I mean, there's 230 at 285. If they were limit orders, these big limit orders, I want to see what's going on with them. Link in the bio. I've been. Let's see. You know what we need to do, chat? You know what I need you guys to do? We need to find a way to pump up my Twitter account. I'm always trying to post stuff on there. The good, the bad, and the ugly. But starting to get. I've been more active on Twitter. And yeah, there we go. Where's the music? Good shout out. I need to get the music set up. I need to get the music part of my process. Hit the likes. Trump, $1 trillion investment on Fox News. You followed me on Sunday? Nice. Let's see if I could get this up. We could turn up the music. We'll go to my saved, liked tracks. There's the music. Let me know if it's too loud for you. But now we have the music that we're doing each night, which has been nice. Start abusing people, that works. No. So I'm not really doing it. Like, anybody could go on to Twitter, talk smack, talk trash, create drama, and get the clicks and the views. But I want to do it organically without, you know, not doing it that way. I want to show people that you don't need to start drama or any of that. Topstep. We'll watch this order get filled. Let's see. Let's take a look at these other markets while we wait. Let's take a look at the Nikkei. Nikkei selling off. What is going on? This is the Japanese market. Oh, last week, everybody. If you were watching me last week, music's a little loud. How's that? There we go. That should be a little bit better. Japanese PPI in a few minutes. Who remembers last week? Was it last week? No, that was Sunday night. Man, it feels like a week ago. We had that major gap up. Look what happened. How is this for a trade here in the Nikkei? We gapped up. We sold off, and we filled the gap almost perfectly. And then we just went to the moon. Now, let's see what happens tonight. Are we going to see a lower high? And if this starts to break, can it start to get ugly? Yeah, this could get very ugly. Yeah, I went long and I closed, and I made money on that one. I actually ended up like $600. Yeah, I posted it on Twitter too, I think, on the Twitterverse. Nice short opportunity in gold. I don't want to be in a trade right before Trump gets onto CNBC or Fox, whatever. Same news outlet. But I see what you mean. That's actually not too bad. I like that short in gold. If Hoop's here, I want to know Hoop's thoughts on the short gold. Right? Maybe a short opportunity here. Lower high. Lower high. Equal highs. Question is where we are trying to find some higher lows. Right? Some higher lows. Trump is talking tonight. Yes. I believe he comes on in about 10 minutes. Not on Fox News. It says Trump interview on Fox News. And so we probably going to see some volatility in the markets. Maybe a short opportunity in gold. Yeah, he's talking in 10 minutes. You're digging the vibe, the music? Yeah, this music kind of uplifts the mood. I was actually talking to someone just before I came on air and talking about how important it is to be positive in difficult situations. And it's the same thing. If you are struggling, if you take a loss in your account, you blow your account, you lose money, and it doesn't even have to be money, right? Maybe you're having some personal issues that are starting to show, and you're letting that get to your trading. You really need to understand Mindset is extremely important in all aspects of life. Comparison will destroy you. I've been there. I've been there so much throughout my journey. You see everything on social media. You see the flashy cars. You see all the money that people are sharing in screenshots and making thousands and thousands and millions of dollars. And you try and compare yourself. And just because you're not there yet doesn't mean that maybe one day you can get there, right? Comparison is the death of joy. It's the thief of joy. And then you look back, and I can't tell you how many times it's happened to me, on how stressed I was because of something. And then a year, I look back and be like, wow, that was amazing. I'm blessed to be able to go through that, to experience that. It's made me stronger. And we need to look at that in our trading as well. Be grateful for being able to go through these things because others might not have similar opportunities. Even though, and it happens in trading. I wish I could make $1 million by the end of this year. I'm not on track. Everyone remembers last year where I was like, I want $1 million account. I want to be trading $1 million account. I'm not on track to make $1 million this year. It doesn't mean it can't happen, but if I'm going to compare myself to others, right? Others are doing amazing in this market. Others made, we seen it, right? We look at the NASDAQ, and I seen some traders absolutely kill it. There's one trader in particularly, I birched that, right? I made like 50,000, right? Get long and just made so much money on these very trending moves. Like this meme coin, the way the NASDAQ's been acting, right? Straight up. And they're catching these moves. And I haven't. And if I was to compare myself to that, then I might find a way to let myself down, or I'll let it get to me mentally. Yeah, 5K a day is $1 million in this market. And that, I posted a quote. And there's lots of good quotes. There was a really good one. There was a really good one. And it's less than what you want, but more than what you need. Less than what you want, but more than what you need. Right? I want to make $10,000 a day. If I make $200 a day, I'm perfect. I'm perfect. That's more than what I really need, right? Who am I talking about when I say traders are killing it? Look at the leaderboard. I don't know the person's name, but I mean, Deeper FX is the handle, I think, on Twitter or name, and they crushed it. And some of the traders on the leaderboard you see on Topstep, what we shared during fast markets, they're doing great. Live accounts. This is one of my favorite. This is definitely one of my favorite ones. I'm gonna replay that one. I think it's just hands off for me tonight until we see what volatility the Trump interview in 5 minutes, what it brings. So let's do some analysis. Let's maybe make a game plan. I'm still watching this big order. We're gonna still watch this big order at 290, 279. Keep an eye on that. See if it gets filled. But let's make a game plan going in. I'm still not willing to hold trades overnight because of the news and the lack of consistency. But let's look at this rally. That's been one heck of a rally this week. And it's just been 2 days. It's Wednesday night. This is where we started. We started all the way down here. We gapped up, and so far this week we are up 6%. That's big. That's big in the NASDAQ, right? That's for the size of the markets. This is a very big move. And so even though we might expect a pullback, this was a nice pullback and a nice opportunity with the power of hindsight. Unfortunately, I just got chopped up that morning. And yeah, the question right now is, do we get another pullback before maybe another rally? I would love for a nice pullback, but can we trade it though? That's the question. Can we trade it? Can we maybe short this market looking for a pullback? Ooh, maybe. I know the more disciplined is to wait for a pullback and then look for long opportunities. But we're day traders. It might take a while. I know traders don't like that. Maybe if we zoom out, I wanted to point something out. I talked about it yesterday. Yesterday we were at the bottom of this, and this was looking like resistance. Well, we blew through all that, right? We broke out. We got through all that resistance. And I mean, the next immediate one is, if we zoom in, we're kind of at this next resistance right here. And we showed that already. And I wouldn't be surprised if we get up to 21,600. 21,600. And heck, if not, maybe we come up to this level, 22,080s. This is a daily chart, and do we make our way back all the way up to 22,470s? Right, looking at those levels on this huge rally. I would love to see these levels, but first, would love to see pullbacks healthier, so that way, I mean, we've had rallies like this before. Don't get me wrong. I mean, look at some of these rallies that we've seen back in August, right? 14%, 6%. And we don't get much of a pullback, right? Like, look at this. We haven't had huge. They were not huge pullbacks, but at least they were some consolidation. And then we zoom in and we say, well, I mean, look at this rally back in the end of December, right? That's a good sized rally. That was 8%. And then what are the pullbacks on there? Not very many. There's like one red day, it gets bought up, you know, and it's buy the dip during these rallies. That's what I think the market we are now in. We've been in it, right? Buy the dip. Every sell-off, buying opportunities. And so I think we continue. I think it's fair to make a decent assumption that we buy the dip. Any pullback can be very good buying opportunities. Yeah, Trump is talking. He's going on for an interview in just a minute. Yeah, Oscar Lopez. That's the plan. I have Coach Jay on with me on Mondays. I have Coach Jay on with me on Wednesdays. And now I have Barron on with me on Thursdays. And so I figured I'd give a Sunday night for that 1 hour, because it's Sunday, right? We don't need to be sitting in front of the screens on a Sunday. Take time, enjoy it. Holy day, depending on where you're at, what your beliefs are. Spend it with your family. And then Tuesday nights is, you guys just get me. We still didn't go fill that order at 279. When I started trading futures, did you start with micros? No, I didn't. I started with minis, and then I learned that I needed to do micros. So when I first started trading futures, right, not trading in general. I started trading in general over 14 years ago. But futures specifically, it took me longer to realize, like, you know what? Actually, micros is the thing. Micros is the thing to do. Yeah, man, this looks like we might break down. What do you think, chat? Do you think that tomorrow will be choppy in the NQ? I don't know. Do we have anything crazy? We have some Fed speakers. Maybe it'll be choppy. Fed speakers. Fed Waller speaking really early in the morning. This market's going to break down. Trump can change everything, yes. Is it good to make $600 a day? 100%. $600 a day is great. Think, what are you doing for trading? Why do you trade? You trade for freedom, usually. I mean, everyone's going to have their different reasons, but typically, you trade for the freedom that trading gives you. To be able to trade for a couple hours and enjoy your life. Oh, maybe you're trading to pay off debt. Everybody's going to have a reason, but understand have realistically goals. Have realistic goals. You don't need to be making thousands and thousands of dollars a day to become a successful trader. $200 a day is more than enough. You could do the math, right? You could do the math. If you trade 20 days a month, right? Maybe there's 20 trading days in a month, 20 business days, and just $100 a day. That's $2,000 a month. Is $2,000 a month life-changing for you? It is for most. Especially, there's a lot of traders, Topstep's international, and I mean, the cost of living, $2,000 can be like 6 months worth of wage. So have realistic expectations, realistic goals. Look for consistency above anything else. Don't pay attention to what others are doing. Stay away from comparing yourself. Just focus on you. But it's okay to have trading buddies, right? Trading buddies are there to show discipline, help you become better, bounce ideas off of, keep you accountable for your own actions. You need at least 10,000 to eat good. You have a high-end lifestyle if that's the case. I'm everyone's trading buddy now. You tune in to Slow Markets whenever I'm here, and we talk these markets. We trade together. Yeah, you want Wagyu beef. That's the thing you want. You always want more than you need. You have personal goals, you have career goals, you have financial goals, and your wants are always, it's good to have wants all the way up there, right? Wants and aspirations, and you give yourself something to work towards, and yeah, it's good. But don't beat yourself up when you're not there yet. Never, I would say you want to be happy with what you have, but don't be content. Be happy with what you have, but not to the extent where you're comfortable and you're content and you don't have the motivation to continue to improve yourself. I think that's also important. Yeah, $2,000 a month pays for kids' college. Someone said $2,000 a month in Philippines is like super rich. It's on the high end. Yeah, content, not complacent, proud but never satisfied. A lot of good sayings out there. Well, we are pushing these lows. Look at the market volatility coming in. Is Trump speaking now? Is he doing his interview on Fox News? You can't win the champion if you never made the playoff. Yeah, you could trade from anywhere around the world. As long as you have internet connection, you could trade there. Now, I don't fully understand restrictions of the FCMs and any of that. If you're trading your personal account, there's always laws and regulations depending on the country, and there's in no way would I personally be able to understand everyone's current laws and situations. But yeah, technically, if you have a solid internet connection, you could trade from anywhere around the world. Yep, Trump is speaking on Fox News right now. I have no idea what he's saying. We're just watching these markets. Andrew A says music, unfortunately not. Topstep help article. Let's look at that. I'll click on that link. Okay, this is probably the best. Yeah, this is the best place, right? To understand if you're eligible for Topstep. Of course, you have to be 18 years. All right, we're breaking these lows. I think I could. Oh man, I really wanted to get into a short there, but with Trump speaking, anything can happen. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end it just a little bit early tonight, if that's okay, everybody. I'm gonna get some food and go to sleep early, rest, and prepare. I want to make sure my health is good to go. The last thing I want to do is continue to feel sick, not feel good. Do I ever use the reverse button? No. Nope. Coach Hoop, that was from today? What was from today? What's gold doing? Gold's holding strong in these 32.40s. Yeah. We could call it the revenge button, not the reverse button. He was speaking during fast markets? Well, he's speaking tonight too. Trump has an interview. I mean, it's not a speech, it's just an interview, I guess. They're asking him questions. I would not be opposed for shorts. We are holding these 250s. 21 contract, 200 contracts just showed up. Oh yeah, 65. It's down to 65 now. Thanks, Andrew. They're chasing this market down. It was higher, right? Red folder news in 20 minutes. Australian, yeah. Wage price, Australian. Let's get back to this. The interview is taped. What if he says buy? If Trump says buy, I'm buying. We've seen what happened whenever Trump says buy markets or buy stocks now, right? Question is, can we get a nice little pullback up to these 62s and maybe find a short? I want to see if this order gets filled at 265. How about Carvana? Every day seems like news day. Yeah. Every day seems like a news day. Live from Air Force One. Do you think he's going to talk about the markets? Bitcoin, like a little pullback, not live, pre-recorded. Okay, pre-recorded. But that's for swing traders or long term. We're just day traders. Just day traders. How did I make my DOM look like that? I don't know what you mean. This is my settings. I'm going to keep that there. You could pause and review the settings. Okay, I think we could break down again. Do we break down again? Is there an opportunity to scalp to the downside? Chat, is this an opportunity to scalp to the downside? Let's see if we could get into a trade. I want to see if we could get into a trade now. Yes, or a bounce. Yes, get in. Get in, a bounce. Get in. Cole, what does FOMO mean? This is technically a breakout trade, but to the downside. If we break down there, my targets are going to be probably close around these 230s to 220s. What does FOMO mean? We're going to FOMO into this. Trump explaining China deal with Hannity. I want to see if those 200 contracts get filled. Still driving DoorDash. All right, we're pushing up now. Will we fill those 200 contracts? FOMO is fear of missing out. Yep, we didn't break down. I was about ready to get into a short if we started to break down, and we didn't. We actually held that. Okay. They moved it. They moved it up to 269 3/4. Are these? I don't know if these orders are going to get filled though. Dakota, if I make it to the leaderboard, will I get an invitation to Topstep? I just passed my XFA. Bulbul, if you make it to the leaderboard, I don't see why you wouldn't. Topstep loves to bring traders on air. And if you make it to the leaderboard, yes. I don't see why not. I know we're always putting out a form so that you can apply to come on air. We have Baron on, right? Baron was just talking last week how he watched a slow market and he went from watching to becoming a trader to being on air with me. So it's the opportunity that we have as traders and to be able to come on Topstep. We have the Topstep studio, right? Talking about the Topstep studio coming in Chicago. So I could see a world where, some of the better traders who are trading and doing well and will be invited to come to the studio. And yeah, I would assume it's the same for international if you're not in the US. Oh, yeah. There's a studio. If you didn't know, there's a studio. I believe. I don't know when it's being built. If it's being built, it might be being built right now. Yeah, there you go. There you go, Danielle, in the chat saying, yes, expect an invite. So big things are happening. Topstep continues to push the, what do you want to call it? This industry. And while the rest are still trying to get caught up, Topstep's already on to the next thing. It's like live funded account benefits. Boom, done. Everyone else is trying to catch up. Topstep's already on to the next Let's work on it. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. What's the next thing? Let's do this. Let's do that. Everyone's still trying to figure out, oh, can we do live account benefits? Can we afford it? Do we even have live traders, right? So that's next level stuff. Low 60s resistance. If you haven't already, Dakota, any thoughts on API access? I'm hesitant. I'm not typically an API trader where I would connect doing API. I know a little bit of C#, but not much to say I can code. I think it's great. Anybody who wants to do indicators, do a whole bunch of this stuff, then yeah, I think it's great for the community. Demon, well, there's a difference between a legit studio and live funded account benefits and what Topstep's doing. Did those orders get filled? Anybody? Did those orders get filled? I don't think the 200 got filled. I think it got moved. I think it got moved to these 289s. Not filled, move. Okay. Thank you. Spoofing. Yeah, it got moved. Here we go. Pump this market up. Yeah, I saved 3,000. That with the fact that we didn't break down. Yen pumping. Is gold selling off? Oh, wrong button. Yeah, Jimmy, it's a legit professional studio, not just a garage build out. Who watches sports? Anybody watch sports where Shaq and Charles Barkley, they have that big screen behind them? That's pretty cool. That's the level, right? That's the level. Yeah, that's old tech now. Lots to come. These markets. Who's watching the Trump interview? Anybody watching the Trump interview? Like a weather girl? I could be the weather boy. The big board on the big screen. There we go. That'd be cool. I'm excited, man. We have traders live in the studio. We have traders around in the pit, right? In a circle or octagon trading together. And then like the team, Hoag, Eddie, Andre, myself, Jay, in like the studio, cycling and talking about traders. That's going to be so exciting. This market might just be really choppy. Can't find it for some reason, but now it's not happening. A lot of chop around these 270s. This is where the market wants to say there's still those big order at 276. I think there was, yeah, there's another one at 289. So 200 at 276, 200 at 289. There might even be one up closer to 300, but they're not getting filled. So Andrew. DBA Concepts, does it usually take economic news to break down strong? It doesn't. I mean, typically you could say big economic news does break through major support or resistance, but not. You don't need economic news to break through support and resistance. However, it's typically what would, if that makes sense, right? Big news event, you typically see support and resistance breaking. It doesn't matter which direction. But do we need it? No. Does it help? Yeah. What are the big meaning of these resting orders? I don't know. Somebody somewhere wants to sell 200 contracts at 276, but they keep moving it. So I don't think they want to fill those orders at that price. They're doing something else. I don't know if they're getting into a position before, they're using an order to move the market. I don't know. It's hard to know the meaning of that. You need somebody to trade during fast markets with you? There's a lot of traders who trade fast markets in the Topstep Discord. Yeah, just hop in the Topstep Discord and there's indices, there's lots of traders that I'm sure more than willing to bounce ideas in the middle of the trading session during fast markets. They're acting as a magnet. I don't know. Those orders have been on the books, I mean, for a little bit now. So I don't know what they're doing, why they're there. If they pull them, do we sell back down? What's chat thinking? Let's look at the tilt. Tilt is short. 54% short. Is the Trump interview still going? It's 20 minutes in. Bearish. Spoofers keep rejecting the VWAP. I'm going to be honest. I wouldn't mind a short here. He just got to Saudi. Okay, I think if we hold these 260s, but that rally, I mean, we came back and we held this as resistance. Right? And then we tried, right? We tried to get towards 300. We touched 300 and then we sold back off. But like I was talking on the higher time frame, you don't want to be short for very long, not having very big targets. Maybe a pullback, but not a long-term trade that you want to be holding overnight. I'm going to get in short. I'll risk 20 points here. Let's see. Is that top of that 30 points? Should I put 30 points on this trade? Top of this candle. Let's do it. Here we go, chat. Is my stop loss a better spot for a short? Maybe. I'm going to watch it, though. because I think I might even close it out manually. This is major resistance, right? If we do start to break above these 70s, then I could easily just close this out manually. I need to get better with my position sizing. If you tuned in last night, yeah, there's always ways for myself to improve. I'm always trying to find a way to be a better trader. And my position sizing, to me, is where I need to improve. That's why I jumped in with 5. 5. Because I've noticed some of my really good trades are either in a micro or just one mini. And like yesterday, the day before, I had some great trades. Like I was 2 for 3, like 2 winners out of 3 trades, and they were just one mini. And I'm like, man, that was 20 points. And then one trade that I was really starting to like, I built into 5 minis, and that was a loss. I'm like, that just wiped out my profits. And so it's for me, and what I need to do better and what I need to improve on is my position sizing. And so that's why I'm in 5 minis. I'm going to try and be disciplined and just saying 5 minis. If I'm going to trade, I'm just going to take the position, that correct position size. Not going to change it. Not going to change it. So there we go. All in. No, I'm not all in, okay? Not all in. Just consistent position sizing. Practice what I preach. I tell everybody, I'm not the best. I'm improving on this day trading stuff. Would you consider what Jay has been doing, scaling out according to a plan? Yeah. There's if you can build a process and a plan like what you say Jay's doing, then there's nothing wrong with it, right? If you have a plan or a process to scale into a specific size or scale out, then follow it. Follow your process. Follow your plan. And I need to do better, whether it's scaling in or scaling out. Typically, yeah, you've seen it. I took the loss on that last trade yesterday morning because I failed to stay consistent with my position sizing. It was one mini. I made 20 points, 20 or 30. And then another mini, I made another 20 points. And then the very last trade of the fast markets, it was a loser. It was only a 20 or 30 point loser, but it was with 5 minis. And it, yeah, so sizing. That's what you see me trying to practice here. All right, if we do start to get more selling pressure and get back down towards these 50s, then I'm going to move my stop loss. I'm going to tighten my stop loss up. But we might get some, we might just chop. We might get a lot of chop. Some support here, some support and resistance. Holding these 62s. Yeah, it held those 62s. That big order is still sitting there at 76. And another big order at 89. So there are some big orders in this market, but they've been moving, it looks like. Micros or minis? These are minis. I'm watching this closely because if we continue to hold support and come back and test these 73s, I don't mind closing it before I get to my take profit. So that's the game plan. So I said the game plan from the very beginning. It's okay to close a position before it gets to a stop loss or take profit, as long as you have that game plan before. So that's why I said it out loud to everybody here. So if I close it, if we start to break above these 70s, these 75, 70, this area, then you know why, right? That's part of what this trade is going to be. Closing before we get there. And that it depends how we get there too, right? Like if we just chop and we go slow and slow, we get there and then we kind of hesitate, maybe I decide to just leave it on until the stop loss, right? But then if we jump, then I might just get out. But either way, there's that stop loss there to make sure, what happens? Maybe something dramatic happens and we just spike up. I have a stop loss in place. But so far, I don't like this. Obviously, you don't like it when the trade's not going in your favor. So, well, chat, do you want to follow this trade? You guys get to follow this trade? I know I said I'm going to be ending class a little bit early, and man, it's already been an hour. You can follow this trade, and I could post an update on it on Twitter if needed. Sure, I'm holding short. Yeah, follow it, do it. You missed the class. Good thing it's recorded. Class is recorded. Don't worry. Wait, am I short or long? Well, I'm short from 265. I don't know what's going on with this music. It's been going off and on. Chat, you can hear the music, right? Give me a second. I'll be right back, chat. I'm going to go grab something. Lo-fi beats to lose money. I don't know what you're doing. What's my Twitter, please? Here you go. There it is, chat. Sasa trading. If this doesn't go anywhere, I also might close it as well. If this wins, it's DBA concepts. If it's a loss, then it's just a trade. Still choppy. Still choppy. We can move any direction still. I like that we held this. I like that so far. But we do need a breakdown below 62. Loss is just hindsight capital. Yeah, hindsight capital. What's DBA concepts? No, loss does not equal DBA concepts. Only wins do. DBA concepts, everybody. Just so you don't know, it's basic and simple, straightforward technical analysis. Just like everybody else online, where they rename, repackage up stuff, I figured, you know what? Sure. See, this double bottom is DBA Concepts. It's a joke, though, everybody. Don't take it serious. Don't take it serious. DBA Concepts equals stops equal entry. Stop loss is a better entry. There's a DBA Concepts. Nice and slow. You see a head and shoulders? DBDA. Come on, we got to get back down below these 60s. No, I'm not going to be charging people money. This is all free on YouTube. I need to do a master class. Is that what it's called? A master class? Maybe I'll just do a 1.5 hour class of just going over technical analysis. Who would like that? Just a full 1.5 hours of purely going over technical analysis. Yeah? Okay. Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it. I don't mind. I think it'd be fun. When? I'll let everybody know when. Yeah, I'd like to do it. We'll probably do it. I'll try and do it soon. We could do an hour and a half of the history of Bitcoin. Of course, JM Roots. Hey, it's all my pleasure. I enjoy. I really do enjoy doing this. I enjoy having conversations with the chat, trading in front of you, talking. Win or lose, right? You see me lose all the time. You see me win half the time. But yeah, it's better than doing it alone. Hey, when I lose, at least we lost together. At least the chat was here with me when I lose. It's a lot better than losing just by myself. Yeah, I'll let everybody know in advance to make sure everyone has the time. Hey, look, there's the 200 contracts still sitting at 69.75 now. What are they doing? What's that 200 contracts doing? It moved down. Did it move? All right, this music is replaying. We gotta find some more. Do you like this music? You like Spanish music? We'll find some good ones then. Will that 200 get filled? Are they going to fill this 200 contracts? They're not moving it. They got filled. Okay. There's another 289. All right, I'm considering closing this. I'm considering closing this, chat. Those 200 contracts were just filled. Let's watch. I'm watching, considering closing it. This is not good. No. I'm watching how we react. Looks invalid, feels invalid. You need $1 million account first to buddy up. I should have closed it already, huh? Should have closed it already. There's 200 at 89. That's why I have not closed it yet. Right there. You always would have, should have, could have. I should have closed it when we were in the profit. Only 4 points. We were 4 points in the profit, everybody. You know the trades? What's the opposite of like, man, that was a great trade. We only took 4 points worth of heat. What's the opposite of that one? I'm not DCAing. No way I'm DCAing. What's the opposite of only taking little heat? Is it like, that's such a great trade, you only took 4 points worth of heat? Like, that's such a horrible trade. Take heat. I might just let this just run to my stop loss chat. If it wants to. Why? I don't know. Why did it go green? There's more buyers than sellers? All right, we're going back to some lo-fi. Will it go fill those at 89? I don't know. We filled the ones that were at 69, I think, 69 3/4. Watching this. Rule number 1, fire playlists. Rule number 1 has to be a good playlist. Imagine how that person with 200 contracts feels. Yeah, he's taking heat, huh? Rather only have 5 than 200. We just stopped right there at 82. Sell more? No. Nope. I'm not selling more. It's tempting, but no. No, sir. 13 points. We're down 13 points, chat. 11 points, 12 points. Sell more now. How those big orders did not push the market down, Dakota? I don't know. There's still a big order at 204 or 289. We did get the big one that was filled at what, 69? That nice big pop up, and now we're kind of just hanging out now. Nothing too crazy. Yeah, those 200, it was filled at what? 200 was filled at. I'll put a line there. Where was that 200 filled at? That's where the 200 was filled. So they're currently upside down. Maybe they were closing a position. No, that's a limit order, right? Yeah, maybe they're closing a position. You never know why orders are coming in or going out. They were to sell, right? But for every seller, there has to be a buyer when the order gets filled. It was to sell, 200 to sell at 69.75. But in order for it to get filled, there had to have been equal amount of buyers, right? So there's 200 just straight up. They used him as liquidity. Something, right? Every seller, there has to be a buyer whenever an order is filled. And vice versa. For every buyer, there has to be a seller for whenever the order was filled. Why did I not close it? I don't know. This one's hard to explain, chat. I don't want to say I didn't want to be wrong, but I was looking at these two moves tonight, and each one of them there was some selling pressure right after. So I didn't really see as much of a follow through as I thought there was going to be. So I opted to just not close it. I have my stop loss there. It's above this pivot. And the setup's still valid. What am I targeting? This is my target. These are my targets right here. 230s and then 190. And that's a 1-to-1, right? That's this first one's a 1-to-1. The second one is a little bit over a 2-to-1. Why is that my target? Right? Support, resistance, zones. And there's actually a valid reason to close off some contracts if we get back down below, back down to these lows. If we could get to these 248s. these 240s. There's a valid reason to close it off there, which is 17 points. But looking for to close off at areas of support. So, okay. Oh, okay, chat. I think that's it for me tonight. Stay tuned. I'll post an update. Chat, you can watch this trade play out. But yeah, it's about time. It's about time. I enjoyed it. It was fun. And I am currently in a trade. Tomorrow, I have Coach Jay on. I will also be on during the power of hours and I believe lunchbox trading. So take care, everybody. Enjoy. I am definitely going to work making sure I am at 100% for everybody. So I will see you tomorrow morning. If not, tomorrow afternoon. If you want an update, I'll try and do an update on the Twitterverse. Yeah, the Twitterverse. This is where, win or lose, I'll give an update. I don't mind. I will always update with winners or losers. Don't get mad. It's trading, right? Sometimes the market moves while I'm live. Sometimes the market doesn't move while I'm live. I don't control the market. That's the reality we live in, right? While I'm live, I'll take an opportunity that I'll see. And if the market chooses to do nothing, then there's nothing. Sometimes the market moves when I'm not live, right? So we don't control the market. We could just control ourselves. And there we go. That gives everybody a reason to tune into the Twitterverse. Take care. Bye.